Vancouver has recently been touted as a world-class city. That is a grand title to hold in every category of a city's multifaceted components. Yes, we are blessed with a lush and green city, as most tourists are quick to point out. Vancouver works hard at being green, and not just the color, but the movement towards being a green community. What does it mean in relation to sustainability? How far has Vancouver come over the years? What are we doing to improve ourselves? Are we really making a difference? Where do we go from here? These questions need to be explored to ensure we, as Vancouverites, are on track and moving in the direction of true sustainability. Let's start out by looking at the definition of sustainability. There are continuous debates on the definition of sustainability, and in fact, the word itself has been branded into everything we see and do. New housing developments, land management programs, eco-friendly products all bear the sustainable brand. Vancouverites talk about leading more sustainable lives, buying sustainable food, and using sustainable energy. What exactly are we saying? And more importantly, are we making a difference? In the dictionary, sustainability is briefly stated as the capacity to endure. As the United Nations puts it, sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And another quote that goes further, sustainability is an economic state where the demands placed upon the environment by people and commerce can be met without reducing the capacity of the environment to produce for future generations. It can also be expressed in the simple terms of an economic golden rule for the restorative economy. Leave the world better than you found it. Take no more than you need. Try not to harm life of the environment. Make amends if you do. This is Paul Hawking's definition from the Ecology of Commerce. Chi Ho was one of the early adopters of key sustainable initiatives. She has headed projects such as BEST, the Vancouver Biking Initiative, and was an executive director at Smart Growth. She is currently the founding executive director at the Whistler Center for Sustainability.
Sustainability is a very hot button issue, it seems like, and I think it's because people don't have a really good understanding of what sustainability means. Most people think about sustainability meaning environmental protection, and without understanding that sustainability is really the linkage and the integration between environment and society and economy. And over the last few years, because we've been in an economic challenge, everybody wants to focus on the economy without understanding that in order to focus on economic development, you need to look at the things around you in your community and environment and address all the issues together. So I think when we're going through tougher economic times and people are more strapped for money and municipalities can't afford to do anything, they think that they need to put all their money into economic development or business development without wanting to think of a long-term future plan and vision. People tend to start focusing on the immediate future when times are tough rather than continue to look far in advance and then figure out step by step how to get there.
Damon Oriente is a landscape architect who specializes in planning projects in varied locations. His focuses include functionality and good design, with sustainability in mind.
I think that to me, sustainability is part of the big equation. So, and in that sense, I think try in daily life to become aware of consumption and to be aware of waste. I really sort of dislike waste.
Lisa Coulthard is the executive director of PowerSmart and Customer Care. Her role at BC Hydro is to plan and deliver clean energy to BC.
For me personally, sustainability means that as a country, as a province, we can continue to grow, but we actually grow with less of a negative impact on our environment. So I really truly believe that we can have a growing and sustainable economy that we can all benefit from, but We can also do it by treating our Mother Earth with a lot more respect than we do now.
Jamie Esco is a park planner with the City of Richmond. She is very involved with environmental sustainability, both in her profession and also in the community.
Well, the current plan that the city has is a good one to reduce all sorts of resource uses and reduce our carbon footprint and our ecological footprint. The city can only do so much, though. There's so many external drivers and larger, senior levels of government that have a role to play as well. I think it's a cultural shift. I think it's how people make choices and how they choose to live, and maybe that's the strongest role the city can play in shaping how people think about the way they live. Certainly changing our use of vehicles and changing the way we heat and cool our buildings would be a huge step, a huge cultural shift.
Gandhi said that 7 things will destroy us, and all of them have to do with social and political conditions. If he were alive today, he would probably reassess the list and add an 8th one. These are Gandhi's 7 social sins: politics without principle, wealth without work, commerce without morality, science without humanity, pleasure without conscience, knowledge without character, worship without sacrifice, and perhaps an 8th one: development without sustainability.